Imagine Europe after the Roman Empire. The year is 500 AD. Gone are the days of Roman order. Darkness descends upon the continent. We enter a period historians call the Dark Ages. It's a time of chaos and uncertainty. Invasions are common, knowledge is scarce. But amidst this turmoil, a new power emerges in Western Europe. This power is the Frankish Empire. The Franks were not new to Europe. They were a Germanic people. They lived on the fringes of the Roman world. The fall of Rome presented an opportunity. The Franks seized this opportunity. They began to forge their own destiny. The Franks were not a unified people at first. They were divided into smaller tribes. These tribes often fought amongst themselves, but they shared a common language and culture. This would eventually bind them together. They settled in what is today France and parts of Germany. The Franks were skilled warriors. They were fearsome in battle. They fought on foot. They used swords, axes, and spears. They slowly expanded their territory. They conquered their neighbors. They absorbed some into their ranks. This expansion set the stage for a powerful kingdom. A key figure in Frankish history is Clovis. He was a ruthless and ambitious king. Clovis united the Frankish tribes under his rule. He accomplished this through both diplomacy and war. He understood the importance of alliances. He also knew when to strike his enemies. Clovis's conversion to Christianity was a pivotal moment. He was baptized in 496 AD. This decision had far-reaching consequences. It aligned the Franks with the Roman Catholic Church. This gave them a powerful ally. It also helped to legitimize their rule. After Clovis, the Merovingian dynasty, named after his grandfather, Merovech, ruled the Franks. However, their power waned over time. A new dynasty emerged in the 7th century. This was the Carolingian dynasty. They would prove to be even more consequential than their predecessors. The Carolingians were skilled administrators and warriors. They gradually consolidated their power. They expanded the Frankish kingdom through conquest and strategic marriages. They built a strong military. They forged alliances with powerful families. This prepared the way for their greatest ruler, Charlemagne. Section 5. Charlemagne, architect of an empire. Charlemagne, meaning Charles the Great, was a towering figure in European history. He ruled the Frankish Empire from 771 to 814 AD. He was a brilliant military strategist and a wise ruler. He understood the importance of education and law. He is considered the father of Europe. Charlemagne greatly expanded the Frankish Empire. He conquered many lands, including parts of present-day Italy, Germany, and Spain. He pushed the borders of the Frankish kingdom further than any ruler before him. He created a vast empire that stretched across much of Western Europe. Section 6. Military might. Forging a superpower. The Frankish army was a formidable force, instrumental in Charlemagne's conquests. The Franks were skilled horsemen who fought with swords, axes, and spears. They also used siege weapons to capture fortified cities. Their armor provided them with protection in battle, and their discipline and organization set them apart from their enemies. Charlemagne introduced military reforms that strengthened the army. He established a system of conscription, ensuring a steady supply of soldiers. He also improved the training and equipment of his troops, standardizing the weaponry and tactics used by the Frankish army. These reforms made the Frankish army one of the most powerful in Europe. Section 7. Faith and education, pillars of an empire. In this chapter we delve into the crucial elements that fortified the foundation of Charlemagne's empire. Charlemagne understood that true power came not just from military might, but also from faith and education. He recognized that a strong empire needed more than just warriors. It required a unified belief system and an educated populace. He was a devout Christian who saw it as his duty to spread the faith. His commitment to Christianity was unwavering, and he believed that the spiritual unity of his people was essential for the stability of his reign. He actively supported the church, appointing bishops and abbots and funding the construction of churches and monasteries. These religious leaders played a significant role in governing the empire, acting as both spiritual and administrative authorities. He played a key role in the standardization of religious practices across his empire. By ensuring that religious ceremonies and teachings were consistent, he fostered a sense of unity and common identity among his subjects. Charlemagne believed that education was essential for the well-being of his people. He saw knowledge as a powerful tool that could elevate his empire and improve the lives of his citizens. He promoted learning and literacy, establishing schools throughout his empire. These institutions were not just for the elite, they were meant to educate a broad segment of the population, including future leaders and common folk alike. These schools were attached to churches and monasteries, providing education to both the clergy and the laity. Monks and priests often served as teachers, imparting knowledge in various subjects, from religious studies to the liberal arts. He invited scholars from all over Europe to his court. These intellectuals contributed to the Carolingian Renaissance, a revival of art, culture, and learning that left a lasting legacy on European history. Section 8. Carolingian Renaissance, a beacon in the dark. During the late 8th and 9th centuries, a remarkable transformation took place under the reign of Charlemagne. Charlemagne's patronage of education led to a period of cultural revival known as the Carolingian Renaissance. This era marked a significant departure from the preceding centuries, often referred to as the Dark Ages. This was a time of great intellectual and artistic flourishing. The revival was not just limited to the royal court but spread across the empire, influencing various regions. Scholars and artists flocked to Charlemagne's court. They came from different parts of Europe, bringing with them diverse knowledge and skills. They made significant contributions to literature, art, architecture, and music. They produced illuminated manuscripts, which were richly decorated and illustrated. They revived classical learning, drawing inspiration from ancient Roman and Greek texts. They developed a new style of writing known as Carolingian minuscule. This script was a standardized form of writing that improved the clarity and legibility of texts. This script was clearer and more legible than previous scripts. It allowed for more efficient copying and reading of manuscripts, which was crucial for the dissemination of knowledge. It made it easier to copy and disseminate texts. Monks and scribes in monasteries played a key role in this process, ensuring that important works were preserved and shared. This contributed to the spread of knowledge during this period. Educational institutions began to emerge, and the foundations for future universities were laid. The Carolingian Renaissance was a brief but brilliant period of light in the Dark Ages. It set the stage for future intellectual and cultural developments in Europe. It had a lasting impact on European culture. The advancements made during this time continued to influence art, literature, and education for centuries to come. Section 9. The Empire Divided, Seeds of Dissolution. Despite Charlemagne's efforts to create a lasting empire, his realm faced numerous challenges after his death in 814 AD. Charlemagne, also known as Charles the Great, had worked tirelessly to unify the various territories under his rule, creating a vast empire that stretched across much of Western and Central Europe. However, his heirs lacked his vision and skill. They were unable to maintain the unity and strength that Charlemagne had established. His grandsons in particular were more interested in their own power and wealth than in the stability of the empire. They fought amongst themselves for control of the empire, leading to a series of internal conflicts and power struggles. These disputes weakened the central authority and made it difficult to govern the vast territories effectively. This led to internal conflict and instability. The once mighty empire began to fracture as regional leaders sought to assert their own independence and authority. The empire was officially divided in 843 AD by the Treaty of Verdun. This treaty split the empire into 3 separate kingdoms, each ruled by one of Charlemagne's grandsons. This division weakened the Frankish realm significantly. The once unified empire was now a collection of smaller, often competing kingdoms. It made it vulnerable to external threats. The lack of a strong central authority meant that the individual kingdoms were less able to defend themselves against outside forces. Invasions by Vikings from the north, Magyars from the east, and Muslims from the south further destabilized the Frankish kingdoms. These invasions brought destruction and chaos, further weakening the already fragile political structure. These factors contributed to the decline of the Carolingian dynasty and the fragmentation of the empire. The once great empire that Charlemagne had built was now a shadow of its former self, divided and vulnerable to both internal and external pressures. Section 10. Legacy of the Franks' enduring impact. Despite its eventual decline, the Frankish Empire left an indelible mark on European history. It laid the foundation for the development of France and Germany. It shaped the political, religious, and cultural landscape of Western Europe. Charlemagne's reign in particular left an enduring legacy. He is remembered as a unifier, a reformer, and a patron of the arts. The Franks played a crucial role in the Christianization of Europe. They contributed to the development of feudalism. They left behind a rich cultural heritage that continues to inspire. Section 11. Conclusion. Echoes of an Empire. The Frankish Empire, rising from the ashes of the Roman world, became a dominant force in the Dark Ages. From their early conquests under Clovis to the vast empire forged by Charlemagne, the Franks shaped the destiny of Europe. Their military achievements, cultural innovations, and religious zeal left an indelible mark on the historical landscape. Though the empire itself eventually crumbled, its legacy lived on in the kingdoms and cultures that emerged from its ruins. The echoes of the Frankish Empire still resonate today, reminding us of a time when, from the darkness, a new order arose, laying the groundwork for the Europe we know today.